Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to apply for a study visa in Canada, part 2. Remember last week they talked we divided our topic into two, and the first part we talked about how the process from getting your passport to how to getting your admission. Okay, that was a part 1. What it takes, what are the requirements from passport to admission, the first steps to take before applying for your study visa. Yeah, and today, which is the second part, I'm going to be telling you the necessary things we need to have before embarking on your study visa application to IRCC. That's Immigration Refugee of Canada, something. Not so sure the full meaning, but it has to do with that. Okay, so haven't gotten your admission, right? So that's obviously at this point it is expected that you have gotten your admission and you have, remember we talked about proof of fund last week, that you'll be making available your proof of fund concurrently while you're applying for admission. So haven't getting your proof of fund on the ground, and proof of fund case, we're going to have a separate video for proof of fund, but at this point I just want to talk about what it takes to get admission, to get your study visa to Canada. What are the requirements? Okay, so at this point it is expected that the applicant has gotten admission to a designated learning institution, a DLI. Remember we talked about DLI. I also talked about having a postgraduate work permit in the institution you applied to. We had that conversation. So haven't gotten a school with a DLI, and then you're sure the school has a graduate permit, you've gotten an admission in that institution, and the next step, and you have your proof of fund available, the next step is your documents, to have your documents available to apply to a school. Yeah, so I always advise, and I also did it too, before you apply for study visa application, you must have gone to do your medicals. Remember, I don't know if I had said this before, but if I haven't, I'll repeat. If I have, good. If I haven't, I'm gonna say it anyways. For your medicals, it's either IOM in Abuja or Lagos. I know there are two places in IOM hospital is. That hospital that is assigned for people to go for their medicals if there's an application to Canada. So IOM Lagos or IOM Abuja, and another one, Q Life. Those are the hospitals that are accepted by the government of Canada for you to go for your medicals. I'll repeat myself again: IOM Lagos, IOM Abuja, and Q Life. Before I left Nigeria, I lived in Abuja, and IOM was hospital in my town, and it wasn't far from where I lived, so I just took boat and I went for my medicals. And then I think a week later my medical record was sent to me via email. So the point is, our advice, but it's not compulsory, our advice for you to go for your medicals before applying for your study visa. Now, aside you having your medicals, you will have your letter of explanation. Again, I'll make a separate video where I will read out my letter of explanation and how I wrote my So however, I'm going to tell you the list of the items. Now you have your letter of explanation. Now the letter of explanation, oh sorry, I don't know, I feel like I need I stand to be corrected all the same. I feel letter of explanation is different from statement of purpose. Letter of explanation is after you've gotten a refusal before, so you're reapplying, it's now letter of explanation. But statement of purpose as is what you use as the first applicant. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. So the first time I applied, the first time I got refused and I used statement of purpose, after which I reapplied and I used titled the letter of explanation. Now the difference between letter of explanation and statement of purpose is, one is telling the government of Canada what you intend coming to do, what are your plans for the future, a little introduction about yourself and so on. While the other, that's letter of explanation, entails you stating why you were refused and what you have done differently. Yeah, what you have done differently from the previous application to find yourself worthy. Yeah, I think that's how best I can explain it. Now going forward, you have, if you're a first-time applicant, you write a statement of purpose, and this statement of purpose will contain introduction, a little bit about yourself, what's your name, your background of study, if you're going for a postgraduate or a master's program, then what's your career so far, what you have done, what you're currently doing. After which you also tell them the school you apply to, the course you wanna, that's still under the introduction, the course you wanna study, and reason why you wanna study that course, and that's under the introduction. Yeah, so the next part is talking about sorry, the next part is talking about the why the school you chose, why that school. Take for instance, I'm a postgraduate student in Humber College. Now it's after I've said a little bit about myself and so on and so forth, detailed things about myself, I'll go further and say why Humber College. Yeah, give them reason why you chose Humber College, what makes Humber College different from the rest of the school so far, that what's made Humber College stand out for you and the rest of it. Yeah, then after why Humber College, you go further and tell them why Canada, then after which why your finance, and then finance so far, what you have and how much you've paid and all that, then your conclusion. And I won't go deep into the SOP. I'll have a separate video for the SOP or letter of explanation. Yeah, so I'll have a different video for the SOP. Now you have your SOP. The next thing you have again is your bank statements. Yeah, you can actually use the normal statement of account, but it is not authentic. Yeah, it's not authentic because it can be doctored. I repeat, you can actually use statements of accounts, the traditional statement of accounts we have, but I would not advise you to use it because it can be doctored. It's not authentic. But however, the best for you to use is my bank statement, MBS. My bank statement is just the number of it's the number of months you want to capture in your application, your statement of account. The number of months you want to capture in your statement of account. It's going to a single. There's a code. You go to your bank, they'll give you a code, and then that code is what the IRCC immigration officers will log into and see the exact amount you have. I don't know if they will log in. I don't know how it's done, or they'll call your bank or something. I don't know, but I think since there's a code in the one single paper they are going to give to you that it contains that has a code. My bank statement, it's called my bank statement. There's a code on it. I feel the immigration officer will actually log into your account from the period of time you give them to the end of the period of time you give them in your application. So that's the only accessible period they can see in your in your bank statement. Yes, that's the number of period I'm going to see in your bank statement. So it is authentic because it says that money is lying in your account and they logged in, they saw it, it is there, it is seen. So it is not fabricated or the regular statement of accounts where one can easily deduct it. Yeah, moving forward, yeah. And if you're, like I said, if you're a master's student and a postgraduate student, is obviously after your graduate studies you must have been doing something. If you're working for someone, you show your employment letter. If you're not working for anybody, you're a boss of your own, you tell them what you've been doing and probably have somewhat proof to show that yes, this is the business I'm doing, this is what I have, my maybe company registration or whatever, to show that okay, you're actually running a business of your own, and then the business had carried your name and all that, so you are not being idle from the period of your undergraduate to the point of which you are applying to study in Canada. So you will have your employment letter. You can, it's optional though, you can have your, this one I'm about to call is your work ID, so it's optional, but I actually submitted my work ID to back up my employment letter. Acceptance letter, that's from your school. Admission letter, you have enrolled in a school, so you have an acceptance letter. You need to show you have a proof to show that this school actually offered you an admission letter. So moving forward, your school certificate, undergraduate certificate, showing that you actually graduated from a university before applying to a master's program or postgraduate program. Yeah, if you have other certifications, you can submit, because for me I had a leadership certification, so which I submitted. Reference letter from my place of work, from my boss, so he referenced me, saying, like, stating that yes, I am a staff of that institution I worked before leaving the country, and then I was up and going, like a good report of me was in the letter referenced. Just a letter to show that you're actually a staff of the institution. No big deal about it. Then this one I'm about to call is not compulsory for Nigeria, as long as we are sorry, it's not compulsory for Nigeria because we are an English speaking nation. However, I personally wrote it because I felt it was going to fast track my application. It's going to find me worthy as NSE, that is Nigerian Student Express route or route. I thought it was going to make it what they call it, easier for me, so faster for me. So that's why I wrote IELTS exams, and also I wanted to see my ability in the exam. All good, I aced it, but it is not necessary. It is not necessary, and it was not a yardstick for the time period my application was approved. That period is a period whereby IRCC has taken a new tone of making application to be faster than usual. So I applied, and I what I want to say, I applied, and yeah, I got my application approved few a month and 20 days, yeah, let's say 2 months. In 2 months I got my application approved, but not up to 2 months anyways, not up to. So I also have submitted biometrics. Obviously go for a biometric if you have never done biometrics before. When you do apply for your when you apply for a study visa, okay, yeah, I applied, sorry, I added my biometrics later because it's a second time application for me. So I already, and biometrics expires every 10 years, so I already had a biometrics with IRCC, so I had to show a letter proving that I have a biometrics validation from them already, so I don't have to pay for biometrics the second time. Yeah, so, and I submitted my curriculum vitae, that's resume. I also submitted my transcript from the university. Yep, family photograph, certification of customer service, and some other certification I did. I have a lot of certifications I did from home country. Then I have my birth certificate. I have landed property. Yeah, I have a landed property in the heart of Abuja, so it's a way of showing I have home ties. Home ties, yes. It's a way of showing that I have home ties with my country. So I submitted a notarized document showing that my mom gave me a certain amount of money that was for to support my journey to Canada. And also my mom actually handed one of the family property that happens to be my inheritance to me. So that's the landed property that I mentioned before. So a notarized document stating that that property and the total amount of money was given to me by my mom. So I had my COVID vaccine certificate, and I also have my school fees receipt showing that I have paid my full first semester tuition fee. So these are all the documents I actually used to apply for my study visa. That's all. That's basically what I did for the second time because I was refused the first time. So that's all the documents I submitted, and yeah. So if you're actually thinking about studying in Canada and all that, basically those are the things you'll be needing to submit to make your application to be found worthy, because you cannot be doing this process and not have all the necessary details that we actually talk more about you. Because remember, there's no physical interview, there's no working place, there's no place you walk into to carry out an interview. So you need to tell everything about yourself. You need to show everything about yourself. You need to show all the things, your ability, all the things you have done to stand out, to tell these people that yes, I am not gonna be, so I don't tell them I'm like, look at, like, I'm not gonna be a burden to your country. I have all what it takes to study or to take care of myself in the period I have said I'm gonna be staying in your country. So you need to make yourself valuable, not liability to them. So because there's no a working interview, so you need to make all the necessary details to use and evaluate you. You need to make it available and all that. Yeah, again, I'll have to state this: it is not necessary for you to do police character certification. Again, like I said, it is not compulsory for you to do police character certification because it is not necessary. To be honest, it is not necessary because IRCC, that's the immigration officers, will also carry out their own background checks. So I don't see any reasons for you to do police character certification, and including IELTS. You don't need to do, because we are from an English speaking nation and our official language is English language, so you don't need IELTS exams to get into Canada. All right, okay, so that will be the end of our video for today. Please don't forget to like, share, comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will bring you premium content. I will tell you all what you need to get into here, and you can ask me questions for free. I am not charging you for anything. I am willing to put you through the steps for you to get yourself into this country if you want to. All you just need to do for me is to like, share, subscribe to my video, and comment in every video I upload. I will definitely bring you another content next week concerning proof of fund and how best you can go about it. Thank you.